What if your morning eggs are silently poisoning you and you have no idea? For years, eggs have been a staple in countless kitchens. They're packed with protein, easy to prepare, and versatile enough to fit into almost any meal. But while eggs are often seen as the good guys on the plate, pairing them with the wrong foods can turn that plate into something far more dangerous than you'd expect. Certain combinations with eggs don't just upset digestion, they may disrupt nutrient absorption, increase toxic compounds during cooking, or in some cases, quietly raise long-term health risks. In this video, we're going to explore 5 foods you should never mix with eggs, especially if you care about your energy, digestion, and overall well-being. Some of these combinations may be sitting right on your plate as we speak. Others might be habits you've picked up over time without knowing the risks. But once you understand the science and stories behind each of these, it could completely change the way you approach one of the most common meals in your day. We'll look at the surprising chemical reactions that can happen when common ingredients come together, and how they affect your body over time. From blocked protein absorption to cancer-linked byproducts, these aren't just food fads. They're facts you deserve to know. And the good news is, once you're aware, the fix is simple. Knowing what not to mix is one of the easiest ways to protect your health, without giving up the foods you enjoy. So stick with us until the end, because learning which foods to avoid with eggs might not only improve your digestion, it just might help you feel better, think clearer, and age with more vitality. Let's get started. Number 1, soy milk. Soy milk is often seen as a healthy alternative to dairy, light, plant-based, and full of nutrients. It's the kind of thing many older adults reach for when they're watching their cholesterol or trying to reduce inflammation. And when you mix it with eggs, it might even seem like the perfect healthy breakfast: scrambled eggs with a glass of soy milk or a protein shake made with both. But what most people don't realize is that soy contains natural compounds called trypsin inhibitors. These interfere with your body's ability to fully digest the protein in eggs, quietly reducing the benefits you think you're getting from the meal. Roger, 75, started drinking soy milk daily after his doctor recommended cutting back on animal fats. He would often enjoy a soy smoothie after breakfast, which almost always included eggs. But over time, he began feeling more bloated than usual and noticed his energy dipping in the afternoons. It wasn't until a nutritionist suggested spacing out his soy milk from his egg-based meals that things changed. Within a couple of weeks, his digestion improved, and he felt more alert throughout the day. The issue lies in how your body absorbs and breaks down protein. Eggs are packed with high-quality, complete protein that your muscles and tissues need, especially as you age. But the trypsin inhibitors in soy can blunt the digestive enzymes your body uses to break that protein down. Instead of fully absorbing the amino acids, your system struggles, leading to slower digestion, reduced nutrient uptake, and in some cases, gastrointestinal discomfort like gas or bloating. Over time, if this happens frequently, it may even contribute to mild deficiencies in the building blocks your body needs to stay strong. It's also important to note that this effect is more pronounced when soy, milk, and eggs are consumed at the same time. Cooking doesn't eliminate the inhibitors completely, especially in commercial soy products that haven't been fermented. That means even if you're not eating them in the same dish, having a soy latte with an egg sandwich can still cause the same internal friction. And because the symptoms are subtle, people rarely connect the dots. They just assume their body is aging, or that their stomach isn't what it used to be. The solution isn't complicated. You can still enjoy soy milk and eggs, just not together. If you like soy in your coffee or smoothie, have your eggs later in the day. If breakfast is your favorite time for eggs, save the soy for an afternoon snack. Giving your body a little space between these foods allows your system to process each more efficiently, giving you the full benefit of what you're eating without the hidden drawbacks. It's a small adjustment, but one that can have a big impact over time, especially when you consider how essential protein absorption is as we age, supporting everything from muscle maintenance to immune function. When you time your meals with intention, you don't just feel better, you function better. And the better you function, the more confident and capable you feel in your daily life. Number 2, sugar in desserts or baked goods. When most people think of eggs and sugar together, their minds go straight to comfort foods, custards, puddings, cakes, and French toast. These are familiar favorites, often tied to memories of family, dinners, or weekend breakfasts. But here's what many folks don't realize when eggs are heated. With large amounts of sugar and left unrefrigerated or improperly stored, They can become a breeding ground for bacteria and chemical changes that quietly turn your treat into something less than wholesome. The mixture of sugar and protein creates a perfect environment for microbial growth, especially if the dish cools slowly or sits out at room temperature too long. Joan, 71, loved baking for her grandkids. Her go-to was a sweet bread pudding with lots of sugar and eggs. Baked golden and left out to cool for hours before serving. Everyone enjoyed it, but once or twice, someone would end up with a stomach ache that seemed to come out of nowhere. It wasn't until her daughter read up on egg safety and mentioned the danger of storing egg-sugar mixtures at room temperature that Joan changed her routine. Now she chills the dish promptly and avoids letting it sit out, and there haven't been any stomach issues since. The problem stems from how sugar interacts with the proteins in eggs. When exposed to heat, this mix can trigger a reaction called the Maillard reaction, responsible for browning and flavor, but it also increases bacterial risk if the food cools too slowly or is not kept cold afterward. Custards and cream-based desserts are especially prone to this, and the risk is higher if you're using fresh eggs or preparing food in large batches that stay warm for long periods. It's not just about food poisoning either. Some studies have shown that the prolonged combination of sugar and heated proteins can lead to the creation of advanced glycation end products, compounds that have been linked to inflammation, insulin resistance, and even cell aging over time. These effects build slowly, often without symptoms, until they quietly impact how your body processes energy, maintains tissue health, and regulates sugar levels. Of course, that doesn't mean you need to swear off every dessert. It means paying attention to how you prepare and store them. If you're making something sweet with eggs, cool it quickly and store it in the fridge. Don't leave egg-based desserts out for hours at a gathering. And if you reheat them, make sure they reach a safe temperature throughout, not just on the surface. These small steps can go a long way toward keeping your treats enjoyable and safe. Being mindful of how sugar and eggs interact isn't about fear. It's about respect for your health, your body, and the food you create. And by being just a little more cautious, you turn each bite from something potentially risky into something you can truly savor with peace of mind. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 3, black tea. Many people enjoy a comforting cup of tea with their breakfast, and there's nothing wrong with that in itself. But when that tea is black and paired closely with eggs, something unexpected happens inside your body. Black tea contains a compound called tannin, which gives the tea its slightly bitter flavor and rich, dark color. Tannins aren't harmful in small amounts, but when they interact with the iron in eggs, they bind together and create a substance that your body can't easily absorb or digest. This interaction quietly robs your body of valuable nutrients and can lead to sluggish digestion over time, especially if it becomes a daily habit. Barbara, 69, had always started her mornings the same way. A boiled egg or two and a steaming mug of strong black tea. She found it calming, almost ritualistic. But she started feeling more tired during the day, even though her meals hadn't changed. After a friend mentioned that certain foods might be blocking iron absorption, she looked deeper. Once she switched to having her tea, an hour after eating, her energy levels noticeably improved. It was a simple change, but one that made a lasting difference. Eggs contain a decent amount of iron, particularly in the yolks. This iron is essential for oxygen transport in your blood and helps keep your brain sharp and your body energized. But tannins from black tea latch onto that iron before your body can absorb it. Instead of getting the nutrients you think you're consuming, they pass through your system unused. Over time, this can contribute to low energy, brittle nails, pale skin, or even mild anemia, especially in seniors whose iron levels are already more fragile. The effect isn't just limited to iron. Tannins also interfere with how your body handles proteins and certain enzymes, which can make your stomach feel heavy or bloated after a meal. That's why some people feel oddly full or slightly uncomfortable after what seems like a light breakfast. It's not necessarily the eggs or the tea, it's the combination of the two and the timing of when they're consumed. The fix is easy, simply enjoy your tea at a different time. If you like your eggs in the morning, wait 30 to 60 minutes before sipping that cup of black tea. Or if tea is how you prefer to start the day, consider having it first, then waiting a bit before sitting down to eat. This small buffer allows your body to process each part of your meal more efficiently, giving you all the nutrition without the interference. There's something empowering about learning how even your simplest choices, like when you drink your tea, can affect your overall well-being. These aren't drastic changes. They're thoughtful ones. And when you put that kind of care into your everyday habits, your body rewards you with energy, comfort, and clarity you can feel throughout the day. Because aging well isn't just about what you eat, it's also about how you pair and time the foods that fuel you. Number 4, processed meats like bacon and sausage. It's a classic breakfast pairing that most of us grew up with. Eggs sizzling next to a few strips of bacon or a slice of sausage. The aroma alone can bring back warm memories of weekend mornings or cozy diners. But this beloved combination hides a problem that few people talk about when eggs are cooked alongside nitrate-rich processed meats. They can form harmful compounds called nitrosamines. These compounds have been studied for their potential link to increased cancer risk, particularly in the digestive tract, and the reaction intensifies when both foods are heated at high temperatures, like in a frying pan. Frank, 77, always made himself a hearty breakfast. For decades, he fried eggs with bacon or sausage, thinking it was a protein-packed way to start the day. But after a routine checkup showed elevated inflammation markers, and his doctor mentioned some dietary adjustments, Frank decided to research more carefully. What he found surprised him. It wasn't the eggs, and it wasn't even just the bacon. It was the chemistry between the two during cooking. He made a few changes, switching to turkey sausage without nitrates and baking his eggs instead of frying, and within weeks, he felt lighter, and his lab results showed meaningful improvement. Nitrites and nitrates are often added to processed meats to preserve color and flavor, and while they're generally considered safe in small amounts, the real concern comes when they interact with the amino acids in eggs during cooking. The high heat transforms those compounds into nitrosamines, chemical byproducts that your body finds difficult to break down. These substances aren't just theoretical threats. Studies have observed their potential link to colon and stomach cancers, especially when consumed regularly over time. For older adults with slower digestion or a long history of processed meat consumption, the risk adds up quietly. The issue isn't just about the meat or the eggs on their own, it's about how they're prepared together. Frying, grilling, or searing these ingredients at high heat makes the reaction more likely. And while the occasional diner breakfast isn't going to harm you, having this combo as a daily staple can slowly contribute to health challenges that don't appear until later. It's also worth noting that many people don't just cook eggs and bacon together. They use the same pan, the same oil, and sometimes even scrape up the brown bits for extra flavor, unknowingly concentrating those very compounds. That doesn't mean you have to give up your favorite breakfast traditions. It just means making smarter swaps and using gentler cooking methods. Choose nitrate-free meats, cook at lower temperatures, or bake your eggs instead of frying them. Even better, pair your eggs with fiber-rich vegetables or whole grains to help buffer your body against harmful byproducts. These small decisions, repeated over time, become a quiet form of self-protection, preserving your energy, your digestion, and your long-term well-being. And perhaps most importantly, it's about knowing that you're still in control. Aging doesn't mean giving up the foods you love. It means learning how to enjoy them in ways that serve your health, not silently work against it. Every change you make is a step toward feeling better in your body, your choices, and your life. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 5, salty processed cheese. There's something about eggs and cheese that just feels comforting. Whether it's a fluffy omelet with melted cheddar or a breakfast sandwich stacked with a slice of American cheese, it's a combination that's made its way into kitchens and cafes everywhere. But when that cheese is heavily processed and high in sodium, pairing it with eggs can quietly push your salt intake far beyond what your body needs, especially if you're eating this kind of meal on a regular basis. And for older adults, that excess sodium can quickly become a silent strain on your heart, kidneys, and blood pressure. Gloria, 76, used to have the same breakfast every day, 2 scrambled eggs with a slice of processed cheese melted on top. It tasted great and felt filling, but at her last checkup, her doctor expressed concern about rising blood pressure. She hadn't added table salt, so she didn't think her meals were the issue. But after reading labels more carefully, she realized that her processed cheese slices contained more sodium than she expected. and when combined with eggs, it pushed her over her daily limit before lunch. She switched to a low-sodium feta and started adding herbs for flavor. And not only did her numbers improve, but she also felt less bloated throughout the day. The concern isn't just the salt in the cheese itself, it's how easy it is to overlook. Eggs are naturally low in sodium, which makes people think of them as a safe choice. But when you melt processed cheese over them, especially the kind that comes individually wrapped or in blocks with preservatives, you're introducing a surge of salt, preservatives, and emulsifiers that can silently affect how your body manages water and pressure. And because the meal feels light, people often pair it with other salty sides, like toast with butter or deli meats, without realizing how much it's all adding up. Over time, excess sodium can contribute to high blood pressure, which increases the risk of heart attacks, strokes, and kidney problems. For seniors who may already be on medications that affect fluid balance, the impact is even greater. It's not always noticeable in the short term, but the long-term effects can be serious. What's more, the saltiness of processed cheese can dull your palate over time, making you crave even more sodium just to feel satisfied. There are better ways to enjoy your eggs. If you love cheese, try using small amounts of naturally lower sodium options like fresh mozzarella, Swiss, or ricotta. Or explore flavor through herbs, vegetables, and healthy fats like avocado. Roasted peppers, chives, or sun-dried tomatoes can add a depth of taste that satisfies without overwhelming your body with salt. You still get the comfort of a savory meal, but in a way that supports your heart and your energy levels instead of silently working against them. In the end, it's not about eliminating joy from your meals. It's about making small changes that honor both your taste and your health. You've earned the right to feel good about what you eat, not just in the moment, but long after the plate is clean. Final thoughts, one for nerds. By now, you've likely realized that eggs themselves aren't the problem. It's what you combine them with, and how you prepare those combinations that can quietly affect your health over time. So many of us have grown up with food habits that feel familiar and comforting. A little cheese on your eggs, a side of bacon, a sweet egg-based dessert at a family gathering. None of these choices seem dangerous at first glance. But when you look a little closer, the science paints a different picture. Certain foods, when mixed with eggs, don't just reduce nutritional value. They may encourage long-term effects that quietly chip away at your energy, digestion, or overall well-being. What stood out to you the most today? Maybe it was the black tea interfering with iron, or the soy milk blocking protein absorption. Perhaps you're rethinking how often you fry eggs with processed meat, or wondering how much sodium sneaks into your breakfast through that slice of cheese. Whatever your reaction, the important thing is this: you now have more knowledge than you did before. And with that knowledge, you have power. Power to make better choices, to feel more confident about what you're eating, and to enjoy your meals without second-guessing whether they're secretly doing harm. This isn't about cutting everything out. It's about adjusting, learning, and staying curious. Aging doesn't mean surrendering your favorite foods. It means understanding how your body responds to them now and how small shifts can protect your health for the long haul. You've spent a lifetime building wisdom. Now is the time to apply it to your plate, one meal at a time. And if that means spacing out your tea, swapping your cheese, or baking instead of frying, then those are choices that build toward a stronger, healthier version of you. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.